Hey guys, what's going on? Iowa Retro Gamer Dad here. This month we are talking about a special game that I hold near and dear to my heart. It was an ongoing rental game as a kid. We have Tiny Toons Adventure Acme All Stars, which was a game released in September of 1994. Back in the 90s, Tiny Toons was really big. It was on several different channels and it was awesome. I remember watching it a lot as a kid, and when this game came out, it was a go-to rental. I'd go to the video game store, anything new popped out, if I didn't know if I'd like it or not, I'd definitely go back to this one. It was your basic sports game. It contained 5 games. The main 2 were basketball and soccer, and then it had 3 other little mini games, which was an obstacle course, 10-pin bowling, and they called it Montana's hitting, which is basically whack-a-mole, a different variant. Now the 3 other little ones weren't very big on it. The main 2 games of this were soccer and basketball. It had a story mode and just a free play mode, and it was up to 4 players. It brought back all your favorite characters. You had Buster Bunny, Baz Bunny, Plucky, Hampton, Montana Max, Shirley, Fifi, Little Beeper, Furball, Dizzy Devil, and the rest of the crew was all here. Similar to Tiny Toons Adventure Wacky Sports Challenge, which was released on both the Super Nintendo and GameCube, Acme All Stars is a sports title that allows players to make a team out of several iconic characters from the show, which I just done talking about. Each stadium and place where you could play the sports would have special features and would have a similar themes. You'd have a cowboy theme and other ones just like that. Along with that, each iconic character had their own special ability which could be used once it built up. The game was surprisingly difficult. I had forgotten as a kid how hard it really was, and even though the Sega Genesis only had the 3 buttons A, B, and C, it still took quite a while for me to relearn the controls of the game. I would almost say that this was an NES hard sports title. I dabbled a little bit in the story mode, but soon found myself not even being able to get past the first few games, which were the soccer one. I had to turn the difficulty way down and take my time and really think about what I was doing. And not only with that, the environment in this game has, even though it is lacking a little bit in the detail, was bright and colorful, which actually does remind me a lot of what Tiny Toons really was back in the day. I really enjoyed the sounds in the game as well, mainly just the basic kicking and stuff like that. The music was great at first. It was really upbeat, really peppy and stuff like that, but after listening to it a few times, it became very, very boring and repetitive. I did find myself almost turning the sound off at points because it was getting so annoying. I did notice that after a few matches as well, the game did become very tedious. You'd almost just be the same old every time. You only had the 5 stadiums or so to pick from, the only 12 characters you could choose from, and after a few matches, it was the same thing over and over again. The only way I could see about changing this would be to actually up the difficulty, but then by doing that, the game became almost impossible to play and became way too hard. The computer would link up everything, combos, passes, and stuff to crazy amounts, and I would not be able to keep up. It would probably have been a good game if you had another human player to play with. That might have changed things up and made it a little bit more fun. I would have loved to have seen a little bit more change in the sports too. Seeing some kind of football game, mini football game, or anything like that would have been a lot nice, but at least they did include 3 little mini games. The obstacle course was your basic tapping the button to move as fast as you can and dodging stuff around the thing. It was very quick and over with before you knew it. And then as you can see on the screen now, there was a nice little bowling game. You had 5 frames, and all you could really do was control the speed and the direction in which the ball was going, which I remember we loved as kids because it was something different. And besides that one, there was a whack-a-mole game where all you do is go around from different hole to different hole with a hammer and whack Montana's head as he popped up. So there you go, guys. There's really not much else to say about this game besides what you could see in the gameplay footage that I put up. It was a nice little time waster, be able to pick up and play, basically. Would I recommend you going out and buying it if you never played it before? Yes, just in case, especially if you're a big fan of the Tiny Toons and Looney Tunes series. It is fun to see the players and stuff like that. But as a hardcore sit down and play all the time game, I don't know if I'd recommend it or not. I probably have my nostalgia glasses on right now and feel more attached to this game because growing up and playing it. I do consider it a hidden gem, but once again, I don't know if I'd recommend it preferably for everybody to play unless you are really into these games. It's no NBA Jam, no sports arcade game like that. It is just kind of a fun little sports title. I would just give it a chance if you have the opportunity, but I would not go out of your way to pick it up unless you love these kinds of games. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it, and have a great day.